You probably won't be seeing Starland anymore or Tamron.
What?
Because I guess they're in the whole squad. They call themselves doing stuff.
For sure. 10,000 they had. No problems.
Tamron. Get it down. I'm not here.
Hey everybody, it is Tuesday night. It's time for Homestead Live with Grumpy Acres Farm. I got Yoda here. She's not feeling it tonight. She's tired. Long day at work. She said her brain's not working.
I didn't say it wasn't working. I said it's fried.
It's fried. Okay.
There's
a difference. Okay. Let's see who else in the chat. We got HG in here. Skane's girls in here. Terminator. Hope everything's going better for you this week than it was last week. Terminator. Len's in here. Jane's in here. Rosie's in here with a big pink hand wave. Half bubble off plum. Best name on the internet. How you guys doing tonight? Like I said, it's Tuesday. It's time for us to give you an update from the homestead and just general BS session afterward. And we'll see how that goes. No quarter just popped in. Let's see. HG's already stirring up trouble.
What do you say?
Oh, he's saying hi to everybody.
No. How's that stirring up trouble?
Well, you never know with him.
You're starting trouble.
You never know with HG. That's okay. So Skanes ate something she's obviously allergic to, and she thinks it's pepperoni slices in her omelet. Just fix some mint tea. Somebody else has been having stomach issues from food.
Yeah. And it's interesting. She said pepperoni. Mine was kielbasa. So, interesting. Processed food. Is your glass got a hole in it?
No, it's sweating. It's sweating and it's getting water all over the place. So I hope everybody had a good week.
Hey, Tiger.
The news around here is it was nice. It was chilly. I mean, it got down into the 60s. In fact, when did it start getting chilly? Wednesday?
Yeah, I've been cold for a while.
So by Wednesday during the day, it was 35 degrees cooler than it was the day before.
Yeah.
And we had that up until I would say up until late yesterday.
No, it was only in the 80s today, and then it's like supposed to be in the 60s tonight. Yeah, I don't even know. Not worth turning the AC on for.
So
it cause more problems.
Yeah, we got the AC turned off, which is nice. I like getting the air flowing through here, even if it is a little bit warmer.
Mm-hmm.
So did you do anything? You paid somebody to come and do something special.
Did you leave me a grocery list?
Yeah, you told me that's what that was for.
Okay.
But you had somebody come over Sunday and do something special. You want to tell them what they did?
Oh yeah. So I had the Beast come over and harvest for me. So he got my apple tree, and Lord knows I didn't think there were that many apples on that tree. He didn't think there were that many apples on the tree. And finally, after like an hour and a half, I'm like, how could he get one? What's he doing farting around out there, or what's going on? I'm looking out and he's running out of bucket space and trying to figure out where to put more apples. And finally, I don't think he got tired because he kept working. He started working for you.
He pulled all the apples off the tree
ones
that were ripe.
He's like, these need a few more days, Yoda. He said, I'll come back and then I'll finish up the rest. So
what sucked was he took all the apples that were nice and low.
Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta use the whip. I gotta hook apples with the whip and pull apples off.
Oh, so you can get one to eat.
So I can get one to eat while I'm out there watching the animals. I'm not complaining. It's just that, and then the turkeys. I told him to take all the apples that had holes in them. We got Japanese beetles, and they ate a lot of apples up. And I just told him to throw them on the ground. So since Sunday,
the ducks and turkeys, and
they're all over there.
They're all over there.
So I've got to eat an apple and leave the core, throw the core to them, or I've got to go get all the apples that are inside the fence and pull them out so that they can eat them.
Yeah,
but they're loving it.
Yeah. So we did that. I went out in the garden and got a crap ton of squash. I got to start processing.
A crap ton.
Are you kidding me? It's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a good. It's not a crap ton.
That's not even all of it.
Maybe a pot full.
What?
A shit pot full.
It's a lot. So, and it's all different squashes and cucumbers and that kind of thing. So, I gotta remember like some of the squashes the first time I've ever grown it, and I didn't plant them. And he said the identifiers that I had on them were kind of fading, so he couldn't figure out what they were. So I've got like mashed potato squash, sweet potato squash, and I've got like some mixed squash. My Cushaw's coming in out there.
Mhm.
Who sent me that Cushaw? It was either Starla or I either got it from Starla or I got it from Tambra. And so that's going and it's all looking funky. Have you seen it? It's like all curly. Right now it's tiny, but it's getting long.
I haven't seen it.
It might have been one Tiffany gave me. I don't know. But they're all out there. So some things died. Some things were murdered.
They're not dead yet. They're when I was
We
when
had
I,
an overspray.
I oversprayed when I was cleaning the deck off, and I accidentally got bleach on them.
Baked potato, on the baked potato squash.
Hey, Zig's in the house.
Hey, Zig.
So I accidentally oversprayed them, and they're looking a little rough. They still got flowers on them.
They do, but they're all like.
But I've been hitting them with stinky water, and so hopefully that
See.
energizes them up.
We'll see if they bounce back. They may just fall over and spread out that way, which is fine with me as long as the chickens and turkeys leave them alone. But yeah, so we got all that stuff done, pulled that. I've got tomatoes I need to get out. Did you get my Romas put up? Like
No,
I asked you. So I got tomato plants laying over. The loofah, holy smoke, is everywhere.
So I planted 8 loofah plants, and all but 3 of them died. All but 3 of them died, and I'm glad those are the only 2 that survived, because it's going up the trellis, over the trellis like I wanted it to. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to.
Now it's going over the coop run, and now it's going like over to my garden side, and then it's going over into the trees. It's like everywhere. Which is fine. We'll use it.
So the good thing about this is it's going to produce a lot of loofah. And if you've never had loofah before, if you pick it when it's about the size of a small cucumber, like a pickle cucumber, like that, it tastes like a cross between a radish and a cucumber. It's got that cucumber texture and that really subtle cucumber taste, but it's got that radish bite on the end of it, and it's actually really good. And we didn't know this. We started raising them for making soap scrubs, and she was doing her
we do sponges and clean the house with the sponges and make soaps and all kinds of stuff.
But we started reading up on it and found out that they're actually a delicacy in Asia, in India, and we taste them and they're really good. But the problem was back then is we would literally get 5 or 6 bushels of cucumbers every year because in the garden, so we just never ate them.
Yeah, and cucumbers or loofah.
No, we'd get 5 or 6 bushels of cucumbers, so we never had a reason to eat them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We'd always let them go to seed, and we'd share the seeds.
Loofah is more to replace squash because of the squash bugs. Squash bugs do not bother loofah.
Neither do goats.
And neither do goats, which is really weird. And so when I started getting into loofah, there was a story come out of Australia. They had squash bugs so bad, infestation, I would call it, is what they were dealing with. And that infestation was so bad, they discovered loofah and started going into loofah and replaced all their squash with that. So we were like, okay, you modeled it. Let's try it. See what happens. And so since maybe we have similar weather, it's worked out pretty well.
Maybe some of the young ones and do the cucumber thing with them. And then we let the older ones get big and we see how they
do sponges and that kind of
thing. We've never tried eating one of the big ones. We've always, whenever they get big,
I would think they're too seedy and
we just let them get woody and do that.
Dry.
Yeah. I'm sure that if you picked them early enough.
I don't know. We'll see.
Chuck's in the house. Chuck, did you get my email? Did you get my second email today? I do appreciate it. Chuck's doing me a solid. I sent him a copy of the medical chapter for the book I'm doing, and he's gonna critique it and rip it apart and tell me how screwed I am whenever the end comes, because it needs to be written by a professional.
You know, actually, I'm pretty impressed with that book.
Oh, have you been reading my?
Yeah. And so when I get some downtime, I read it, and it makes sense, makes total sense. And what I think is funny is even though it's city survival, it really does apply to anything suburban, country lifestyle, that kind of thing.
Right.
I think it would be really easy to elaborate on that and just maybe do like a couple extra chapters, like take one suburban way and then,
Well, and that's
after you do it, do one chapter on this is apply everything. You can go extra in suburban and then apply everything. You can go extra in the country.
Well, the purpose. Chuck says he's adding some ideas for me to incorporate.
Cool.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
If there's anything that can be taken out to make room for the new stuff, feel free to put a great big red line through it there, Chuck.
Yeah, and just do
I
it.
I am not. I have learned that I cannot be wed to what I've written and any ideas that I have, because as soon as I am, something better pops into my head, and I end up having to rewrite the dang chapter. I'm on like my third version of most of my chapters.
And this is just a rough draft, right? Because you're really pretty good at grammar and spelling, and we got some things we need to go in. And
all I've been doing is letting Word fix
That's
it.
what I figured. So this is a rough draft. So
if
we need to go back and proofread and do
that's why you get an editor. That's
like you're like going full on board.
Oh, I'm getting it published.
Oh.
I'm not writing this because I'm bored.
Cool.
I'm writing it. I'd like to have it done by the time. I'd like to have it published by the time we go to SRF, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. But yeah. So no, and the purpose behind the book is it's the full spectrum preparedness framework applied to urban crisis, and I wanted something specific, and I wanted to lay the groundwork for full spectrum preparedness. Hey, Rank, what's up? Rank's from down under.
Can count spell to save his life.
Hey, listen. There's more truth to that than you know, because I
own it.
If I'm on my own, I am an atrocious speller. My English teacher from high school would be appalled. Right. I love the auto correction in Word, and the grammar correction, because it saves me a lot of looking like an idiot.
Like the grammar is way better than the spelling. The spelling's not atrocious. It's just a few things that I have to go back and reread, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so how does he mean that? But I think because we're married and we've been together so long.
That's not grammar and spelling. That's just
is that you?
That's just the comprehension that isn't there.
It's my fault.
No, it's written in a manner that you can't comprehend. It's not your fault. It's the way it's written. So
that's probably not a good way to do that when you have mostly simple people.
Again, are you saying that preppers are simple? Oh, do you hear? You guys are simple.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have a way. You need to remember that there are other people that are regular people, and you're like smart, and so you got to stop it. You're kind of a nerd. You have to admit you're a nerd.
Again. Well, and so
he's a total nerd.
Again, there's some truth to that, because all the writing that I do, I did stuff professionally. I was an instructor in the Marine Corps.
He taught
for computer sciences. I was a quality assurance manager for a company, and I had to do all the technical work for their technical testing and everything. I had to write all the manuals for that, or not manual, all the processes for that. So everything that I write, well, not everything, 90% of what I write is technical manuals, technical stuff. So when I do something like this, I write it in a technical manner. And if you think it's written like that now,
not all of it.
No, I'm saying if you think it's written like parts of it are written like that.
Like I totally didn't say that it was. What I said was.
Well, no, that's the reason why you can't understand it. That's because of the way
I didn't say I didn't understand it. I said I had to go back. You're the one that told me I didn't understand.
Understand's not the right word.
No, but you're the one that said
the comprehension.
Same thing. Like I said nothing about the comprehension. You did.
But that's what you were describing.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But that's how you took it.
But I tend to write things in a very technical manner, and I have to go back and humanize it so that it makes sense.
Whatever.
No, but the purpose of this book eventually what I'd like to do is I'd like to backtrack, and I would like to do a full spectrum preparedness book, just specifically that, and no crisis, anything, just what it is, like what Craig and I were going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd like to expand there and go out in different directions.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would write stuff and give it to someone who has no knowledge of the topic. If they could follow and get the desired result, the documentation was good. Well, funny you should mention that, HG. We had a lady that I worked with when I was at Truman Medical Center, and her name was Debbie, and I was writing all the technical stuff, and I started doing what I called Debbie proofing all the instructions and everything. So I would write it and I would give it to her, and if she could do it, it was good enough for everybody.
So wrong. It was just so wrong. I know who he's talking about. So wrong.
Tell them what Lynn says, USMC training. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them. Surprisingly effective. Yes, it is. And that's kind of the way the chapters are supposed to be in this book. Again, I'm going to have to go back and fine tune it before it's ready to publish.
So in my career, I come from a communication world. So you listen to what one person is saying, and then if you don't understand what they're saying or quite get how they mean it, you repeat it to them how you think it is until you get a clarification. So is what you're saying da 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 da. The horse fell off a cliff. Is that what you're saying? Did I get that right? So well,
so Randy, if you missed what he just said, Randy said there's some people that you can't write stuff for because they got no common sense. Again, there's a lot.
People just have zero common sense.
Well, no, again, but there's truth in that, because one of the things, because I was an instructor, I had to learn how people learned, and it's a fascinating topic, because most of the people in the world are visual learners.
Mm-hmm.
They have to see something. That's why the how-to videos on YouTube and the Marine Corps. Glenn, you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Like Beth Finley understands what you're saying too, because she used to write.
But you have to show people how to do it. But there's other people that learn through reading. Like, she used to get mad at me because I've been around technical manuals enough that I can pick up.
I've never seen anybody that can pick up a manual 5 inches thick, read it in 48 hours, and then go teach a class on it and be proficient in teaching it. Never seen it until I married him. Well,
and that's because I've been around. I know how to read manuals. There's a whole way of reading a manual so that you understand it. And it's from being a Banyan engineer when I was in the Marine Corps. Again,
I never got mad. I was just like, holy crap,
Lynn
I'm
could
jealous
attest
of
to
it.
this. Banyan manuals were probably some of the hardest technical manuals to read that were ever written. Banyan was the networking system that we used.
That was weird.
No, she just decided she needed to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Where's your glasses?
Does income and audio?
Does it come in audio?
Eventually, I would like to do that, Rank. Honestly, I would really love to do that. I'm actually having a lot of fun writing this book. I'm learning stuff that I didn't know, and that's another reason why I'm writing the book, is because if you want to learn something and become more proficient at something, teach it to somebody else. Mm. Because it will expose everything that you don't know about the topic. And because I swear to God, it used to drive me nuts. It used to just drive me bonkers. I would spend hours and hours developing these classes for the Marine Corps, for IT. We were teaching people how to use the computers, basically, and teaching the admin people how to use all the software. So I became very efficient at Microsoft Windows and their all the applications that we used, and it used to drive me nuts. I would diligently make these classes, and some freaking 18-year-old private straight out of boot camp just went through just went through admin school would ask a question that I did not know the answer to. And it used to drive me nuts because I would have to, I don't know the answer to that question, but I will find out and I'll have it before the end of the class.
Oh, that tore you up. I know. Signed copy.
Rick wants a signed copy. I'll tell you what, I'll let you be my exclusive distributor to the prepper community there in Australia, Frank. Once I get it written, we'll figure out a business deal so you can sell it down there and make some money off of it.
You have to make sure Lynn and Wayne get some copies to distribute too. You know that. So, but yeah.
Let's see. Lynn says, remember waving the keyboard and saying, "This is the any key." Yeah. Waving at the keyboard. Yeah. There, it's teaching 18, 19-year-old Marines is a special joy, and I use that unironically. I understand, but no. So I'm having fun writing it, and hopefully, I've always wanted to write a book. I probably got 3 or 4 books that I started writing and that I just
haven't finished.
I just lost interest in it, and they're good topics. I mean, and it ranges from a lot of different things. So we'll see. Maybe if this is successful, I'm not going to lie, I'd like to make some money at it too. I'd like to get a second income. I know I'm not going to get rich off of it, but it'd be nice to make $1,000 or $2,000 off of it.
Well, you'll do that easy.
But so we'll see how it goes. But getting back, okay, so that was part of the update for the week, is because I have been spending a lot of time writing that book.
So let's get back to things. I have turkeys hatching. Turkeys everywhere. Yeah. Literally everywhere. In fact, living room, greenhouse.
We had a hen. One of our turkey hens disappeared, and I was like, she either got eaten or she's sitting on eggs, because she was kind of broody last month. And
she got tired. I was stealing her eggs.
She never showed back up, and quite frankly, when it's 100 degrees outside, you can't do anything in the greenhouse. Everything dies in it. So I just let it go. The weeds have grown up on the inside of it. I got to go cut all that stuff out.
Because we still have to put a fan in and get the shade cloth on and all that. We just haven't had time to do it.
Well, and I really didn't plan on using it this summer.
That's got to change for next year, because now we will use it.
Well, but we used it this spring. Once it cools down, I'll clean it out and we'll.
But we can use it literally all year if we put a shade cloth and a fan.
I know, but I didn't want to do that this year because I got other things that we're doing.
But next year we will.
But anyway, so I got out there yesterday, and that turkey, she built a nest in one of my planting boxes. So she's like 3 or 4 feet up in the air. And I walked in there and she just gave me the stink eye, like I was doing something wrong. No, let's see here.
Yeah, the money is in the speaking after. Yeah, that's all going to change. Right now we speak for free. Well, we get something. I guess that's not true, because we get benefits out of it.
No, we get benefits. Well, it's just like one of the reasons why I'm putting the cheese class together.
Right.
So I'd like to get a second form of income coming in.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. It got hot in there today, so she wasn't in there when I got home. She was wandering around. I caught her sitting on some chicken eggs. So I think the broodiness is still there. So hopefully when I go out there to put them away tonight,
she'll be in the greenhouse
she's on the eggs.
And if not, I'm going to pull them and put them in the incubator. Yeah. So, but they're hatching.
Let's see here.
Looking for me some black ones coming out. Hoping I got some slates in there.
Zach says he used to make foolproof continuity books, and even the bigger jackwagon would show up and find a flaw. Absolutely. That's funny. Absolutely.
Gaines probably got snake.
Well, and this is the reason why we don't say we teach people.
No, we share.
We share our experiences and we share information. And the reason is because as soon as you say teacher student, that creates a hierarchical thing, and you invariably at these festivals you invariably have somebody that's got more experience than you. And those people are different than the ones that think they have more experience. The ones that think they have more experience are just a pain in the butt.
Rank the first turkey that we ever introduced to the oven.
Do I need to tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then we'll tell you how much it weighed after it was dressed out.
Put a one in the chat if you've never heard the story of me butchering
Rank has never heard it because he asked it, so you got to tell it.
Okay, I'll tell it. There's probably other people in there too. Okay, so the first turkey we had, we were living back over on the Missouri side, and it came time. Thanksgiving was rolling around, so it came time to do a turkey. Now I had done some chickens. I knew how to butcher chickens.
Chickens, ducks, those all went well.
I did not have a killing cone big enough for these turkeys, so I got on YouTube, doing what any red-blooded homesteader would do, and started looking through YouTube University. Well, I found a guy that said that you take a feed sack, you cut the corner out, put the turkey's head through it, and you wrap them up. That way, when you go to cut their neck, they can't flop around. They won't they won't bruise their skin. They won't break bones and stuff.
Now, what kind of feed sack?
Well, the guy neglected to say. Well, hold on. Let me tell the story my way. So anyway, I'm feeling confident about this, and I put this sack over this turkey, and I get it down, and I get the knife, and I get ready to slit its throat, and I start running the knife across its throat, and it just explodes. This turkey goes, bah! Loses it. The guy neglected to say to not use a paper sack. When that turkey started flapping around, it shredded that sack. So I'm on top of this.
Broke his nose.
I'm on top of this turkey. It gave me a black eye. It was flopping around so hard. It was spurting blood all over the place, and I'm trying to cut its neck, and it's squawking and it's kicking. And if you've never dealt with turkeys, the big turkeys are stinking strong. Night, Terminator.
All right, Terminator. Keep us updated for that if you hear that, yeah.
So I got blood all over me, and I finally there was a hatchet laying there, and I managed to lop its head off, and it kicked a little bit, and then it was dead. I went inside, and I had a white T-shirt on, and I went inside, and I had blood splattered all over me. She was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And she said I looked like I'd been like I was a serial killer or something. So I told her, I said, it's probably going to be a long time before I butcher another turkey.
He brings this damn turkey in, and I was like, holy moly. And I'm like,
was that the one that weighed 28 pounds?
32 pounds.
Okay, yeah, that was
32 pounds. I had a hard time with the roaster. I was using foil to make sure it was covered up.
A bed sheet, an old bed sheet. He said would work. You know what? I may do that.
Yeah, try that. We've got some out there ready
Wrestling
to butcher.
With livestock again. The neighbors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
Our neighbors probably have a lot to say about.
I'll tell you what. Turkeys are strong. You know, and especially in that. Seriously, that bird weighed 32 pounds. It was so big that she could not fit it into the roaster. Mm-hmm. You managed to finally get it stuffed in there enough that you could get it in and out of the oven.
If I
remember correctly, it took forever to cook.
Yeah, but the kids were like, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best turkey ever!" And like, it should be, because it was really hard to murder, but we got it done.
I'll tell you, man, that raising them yourself, or if you know somebody that raises them, buying them from them instead of the store, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, our kids now, they ask all the time. They're like, is there going to be one of your turkeys for the table? And depending whether or not you feel like butchering is whether or not.
Oh no, one of those white toms is going away.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those white toms is going away.
I don't know. You might make it the slate. I'm not sure.
No, Turk's my buddy.
Okay.
Although it would solve a lot of problems if he was.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
So the slate turkey does not like sleeping in the building unless it's the middle of winter. So he stays out, and he uses my IBC totes that I'm using for water catchment to jump up on the roof, and he sleeps on the roof. Well, he craps all over the roof, and then when it rains, all the turkey crap flows down into the IBC tote. Mm-hmm. So it was on the main coop, and I yanked it off there because I was like, well, he's doing that there. So I put it over by the feed shed,
and he moved.
And now he's sleeping on top of the feed shed. So I've got to figure out a way.
I think he's using the gutters or something to get up there.
No,
possibly the barrel.
No, he jumps from the ground to the top of the IBC, and then jumps from the IBC to the roof. And then on the big coop, he walks up the roof and he jumps up on the top roof.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. So he's using that. You moved it.
I moved it. So
you moved his stuff. So now that's where he's sleeping.
And I'd put a ladder for him to jump up on and get up there, except I don't want to give the coons and possums a way to get up on the roof and get in through the soffits and stuff. Because they'll get up there. Our soffits are open right now. I'm as soon as fall rolls around, I'm gonna put soffits on it. So that'll kind of take care of that problem. But they'll still chew the soffits up. Right. They'll still rip right through that mason board and get in the coops. So I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. But he needs a step stool to get up in the main coop. Again, Scanes, that's how the coons and stuff will get up there too.
Right.
Oh.
Have you tried what?
Oh no, I use harsh language on him a lot. He's my buddy, but he's a pain in the butt. Well, they're all pains in the bottoms. I caught him yesterday when I was waiting for her to come home. I'm sitting here at the table eating dinner, and I see movement out of the corner of my eye. All the turkeys are up, standing at the door, looking at me.
They come in and they'll get at the sliding glass door or the front door, and they look through the glass. And they're like, I see you. Are you going to feed me? I see you there. Don't lie to me. Don't ignore me. Feed me. And then they'll start pecking at the window. Peck. I'm here. I'm here.
I still haven't finished. I told you guys last week I was trying to stain the deck. I still haven't finished the stain on the deck because it hasn't even been a week. And I got to power wash it in because there's turkey and chicken poop all over the deck.
Yeah.
So we're thinking next year maybe the time that we screen in the front porch so they can't.
It's going to solve a lot of problems, I think. A lot. And then I think even put glass up there, but we got to get the roof fixed before we do that. Mm-hmm. So Scanes has some ideas on how to get that pitch corrected. So she's got some experience in that. So maybe we can get that done. But
Rink just has snakes and spiders. Yeah, the difference is that your snakes and spiders like killing people. Right. We got poisonous spiders around here, but none of them kill people.
We try to keep them back in the back.
And we got rattlesnakes around here too, but knock on wood.
You bet.
We haven't seen any rattlesnakes. The neighbor said when he was a kid they were thick in this area. Thick. But I keep everything mowed back, and they like staying down in the woods, so that's one thing. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Len's got Squatter Kitty. Have you been watching his Squatter Kitty videos?
No, I'm gonna have to go look. He's got a squatter over there.
He adopted a feral cat.
Oh, gotcha.
And the cat kind of has him wrapped around his little kitty finger.
That's funny.
But
that's hilarious.
He dotes over that cat, and the cat loves it.
Good night, Squatter Kitty. That's hilarious.
So some of the other stuff that went on this week, I had to replace the ignition in the lawnmower, which I got to get a lean-to, or I got to get people's stuff out of my outbuilding. Scanes.
No, Scanes' stuff's all out, and what's in there is in the back, so it's not them.
No.
Mossy Oak Parrot, all of Scanes'
stuff is there too.
She swears all of her stuff is in the back of the building. You had her move it to the back. None of her stuff is up front. It's all Mossy Oak Parrots.
Look, I thought her table saw
your stuff and Mossy Oak Parrots.
Anyway. But I need to get my equipment under a roof or something.
We got to have a roof. We're spending way too much money in unnecessary maintenance.
That, and then the starter on the skid loader looks like it went out, and I'm waiting for somebody to come troubleshoot it for me. I started looking at it, and the diagnostic portion of that is outside my wheelhouse. Once we get it figured out what the problem is, I can try to
see what she says. She did. See, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
So you need to get your stuff taken care of, and then you need to ring Mossy Oak Parrot and Redneck and let them know.
Randy, take it easy.
Bye, Randy.
Thank you, Scanes. I appreciate you getting your stuff. I didn't even notice. I've been so busy. I just stick my head in there to grab a tool, and I'm out doing stuff. Yeah. And that's what I was doing this weekend. I
Yeah, because we actually have a dead freezer that needs to come out, and we can't get it out because there's other freezers in front of it.
But I started plotting out. Hand me my thing. Hand me that notebook.
I mean, a thing could be anything. You have a lot of things over here.
I got a hat over there. I got 2 hats over
there. And some other stuff.
I started plotting out rehabbing the
yeah, we can see that.
The hay pen and everything. Well, they saw the dots. It looked like a demented child's connected dot thing.
I was like, I saw that plan. I'm like, what is that? Who was over here scribbling? But, and as I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's the plan.
But I started plotting out how I'm going to rehab the hay pen and the fence for the main pen so that I can start running the field fence out, because I got to get that fixed before I can start running the other stuff.
Yeah.
I got a 8-inch auger that I'm going to borrow, and I'll be able to do most of the stuff out here to begin with myself. And then I'll call a work day and we'll run. I got to get a one of those wheeled tape measures so that I can measure.
We have one.
No, it broke. It died on us. Listen, guys.
Did it break or die?
Well, it broke, so it's dead. I bought this wheeled tape measure about 12 years ago for $20 at a garage sale, and I used the snot out of that thing, so I got my money's worth out of it. And they're not they're not as expensive as I thought they were, so I need to get another one. Just a matter of finding a spot in the budget to pay for.
Look on Amazon, user points.
But but I started fixing fence out there. I've got a big tractor tire out there that I use as a garden bed. We planted, it's Freya's garden. So the original Freya passed away, and I buried her out there next to the pen because she loved being out there with the animals. And I put this tire down, and I built a bed over it, and it's got it had Jerusalem artichokes, and something else was planted in it. But the goats could reach through the fence and eat everything. So they got a hold of the Jerusalem artichokes and tore them up. So I made it so they can't get in there, like can't stick their heads through. And planted some lettuce and some radish in there. So we'll see how it does. Those are the fall crops. So those should come in, and we should be able to get them in the Jerusalem artichokes. If you've never dealt with them, I would highly suggest you looking into them, because they are a tuber. They're like a potato. They're a substitute for potatoes, but the sugars in them. Diabetics process the sugars in
better
Jerusalem artichokes than they do regular potatoes. How long is the fence?
I think each roll is 300 feet.
Each roll is 300 feet. We've got 4 rolls left that we need to get up, and each paddock. How much was the main one?
I mean, we got help on that, so not.
Well, no. How long was it?
Us.
It was 1.5 rolls. So
something like that.
This next paddock we're putting in is probably going to be 400 or 500 feet of fencing.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, each one of them is going to be.
But that would give us enough fencing left over to go ahead and stretch to do the garden, right?
No, it's going to give me enough to build 3 paddocks so I could rotate them around.
Oh, you're going to split it down.
Yeah, I'm going to split it up.
Okay.
Measurements in the U.S. are so different. Yeah, you know what, Rank? I've said it before. I'll say it again. There's 2 types of country in the world: those countries that use metric, and those countries that have landed on the moon.
Sorry, Rank.
Listen, if I can't make fun of them,
he put 150 feet. That's how he wrote it. 150s. I don't know what that means, and that looks like 3 inches.
If I can't make fun of the metric system and soccer, then there's no joy in dealing with Europeans and Australians. There's just no joy in it.
Oh my god,
that's okay.
He's laughing.
Listen, I've seen Rank on rescues, and I've talked to him. He can dish it out just as well as as I can. So I'm not gonna. He's gonna bag on me next time he sees me over there, and I'll deserve it.
So 6 tractor trailers. So it'll be bigger than that, because those are 32 feet long.
Well, 1, 2.
Yeah, I think a semi truck is 32
You know
feet
what?
long.
Those may be close to 600-700 feet. Now that I think about it,
Each fence.
each paddock, we might have to buy more for that third
Is he
paddock.
talking square feet?
No, he's talking length. But I was just thinking about it. Because that run.
Oh, I thought he was asking how long each roll was. Each roll is 300 feet.
350 feet.
Okay,
Actually, 325.
Okay, so each roll is that, and there's 4 of those.
Yeah, we're gonna have to buy for the third paddock, which
That's
is
like
fine.
almost 1,200. It's over 1,200 square feet or 1,200 feet.
Linear feet. Yeah, we're gonna have to buy more.
Oh, fun time. Call Gypsy and see if he's got any from that load he picked up in Kansas City.
Let's wait until we actually get stuff in.
They're going and getting they're getting their fencing in already. So if he's got a leftover roll here or there, let's grab it while we can, because he got it not on the cheap, but around the same price what we got it.
There is no such thing as cheap field fencing anymore, guys.
No,
the prices have gone up, and I don't think they're ever going to go down again, which is a shame. They've gone up by about 30-40% since we bought these 3 years ago.
Yeah. He's going tractor trailers. We have so many different sizes of tractor trailers here. It's craziness. Depends on if they come up from Mexico. Like the ones that come up from Mexico and come down from Canada are smaller than the U.S. tractor trailers. So I don't know why that is, but they are.
The one that used to blow my mind was in Arizona back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have the 3 trailer trucks.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
Now they can do 2.
They can only do 2.
I haven't seen 3 since we were kids, but now they can do 2. So, but yeah. All right. So a little PSA for you guys while we're doing this. Okay. So a little PSA, fraud. It's getting real. It's getting vast, and it's getting severe. You guys, everybody needs to be watching your bank accounts, your emails, and your text messages. If you get a text message from somebody you don't know, don't answer it. I don't care if it says they're going to put you in jail, leave it alone. If you get an email that says your bank account's been compromised, all of that, call this number. Don't call that number, call your bank. And what was the other one that I said? Oh, email. And if you get I said text message, email, phone call. And if you get a phone call and they start telling you that your accounts have been compromised and did you spend this and did you spend that? And, you have 19 hackers. We can see it because you bank with, and they name off all the international banks that most everybody banks with, and you freak out. Don't talk to them. Hang up and say, okay, I'm going to call my bank. Click, and then call your bank. PSA.
There, your PSA is over. Bank fraud bad.
Bank fraud bad.
Hey, listen, Rank, invading Canada, man, number 1, you got to like Indian food anymore if you invade Canada. And number 2, we don't
Chinese food too.
Number 2, we don't want to inherit all the problems that the socialists have created up there. Right. Man, we got enough problems of our own. We don't need to. Now, I take Saskatchewan or BC, British Columbia. I take them. They're still pretty conservative out there.
Oh, y'all, here's the thing too. Here's another shout out. So since she's gone, I didn't want to embarrass her, so I didn't want to say anything. So with everything that's going on with Terminator right now up there in Canada, and one of the phone calls she's waiting for, somebody did start a GoFundMe page for her. The problem is, and Skanes remind me to contribute money to the GoFundMe page, they want to charge you something like $15 or something like that to contribute money to it. So that would be money that you would be taking away that she can use in order to build her permitted cabin and all this other crap and pay whatever she's got to pay to the, what does she call them? Prime Minister or whatever it is.
MPPs.
Yeah, the MPPs. And
there's the link for the GoFundMe, by the way.
Yeah, but don't do the GoFundMe. Don't do the GoFundMe. I'm going to try to get Jennifer's information. Skanes has it. And so I'm going to try to get the information. I do believe I have Jennifer's number. And I think we can set something up so that we can like Venmo or do something like that to Jennifer without having to pay like the currency difference and all of that. Because that's what they're charging. That's why it costs you $15 to send money to her, because it's a currency exchange difference. That $15, when they go to ship the money and the currency, when they go to do that, that $15 is the overnight fee to ship that money. It doesn't need to be done. We can do it through Venmo, electronic transfer, that kind of thing, and get it there without that extra. I'd rather give Terminator the extra $15 than give it to a corporation. That's just ding dong. So we're trying to figure that out.
Remember Venmo and PayPal and all them, they take their cut too.
Well, no, not if it's personal. So if it's personal, there is no cut.
No.
If it's business, there is a percentage.
Okay.
But no, Venmo, Cash App, that kind of thing. So I just got to figure out currency exchange, I know one transaction that Jennifer accepted. So we'll figure out if there was a currency exchange charge there. On the US side, there was not. It looks like it all went through, but I'll see if Jennifer saw that Terminator lost anything. And then if that worked, I'll get permission from Jennifer that we can just kind of put that information out here so that we can get that to her that way. I'd rather build her up than build up a corporation, if that makes sense. So that's just kind of where I'm at. If you feel like you need to go ahead and hit that and you don't mind paying the extra, I mean, feel free to do it. But because I do believe that's a currency exchange fee, because that's what we charge for currency exchange.
Okay, I want to talk about Len's statement there about them becoming organic with the paddocks. So the reason why we're doing paddocks is because right now we spend anywhere from $145 to $165 a month for feed for all the animals, the goats and sheep, and the chickens. The chickens eat off of it too. They eat the same feed as the goats and sheep. Doing the paddocks will reduce our feed costs. And if I'm able to get the 3 paddocks working, I can rotate them around there so they're not destroying it. You've seen the videos of our main paddock. It looks like a damn CAFO.
Feedlot.
It looks like a confined animal feedlot. Yeah. So I don't like that. It's driven me nuts for the past 3 years. We haven't had the money to get the fencing in. And once we get past October,
we haven't had the time either.
Once we get past October, we're going to have the money to do it properly. And the thing is, if you don't do it properly, they're just going to tear it apart. I learned that the hard way the last 3 years. That's why I was so grateful for neighbor Chris when he came in and did that fence for us. And he was good. He was good enough to let me help him. So I learned the proper way to put a fence in. And because the animals are not going to be on these paddocks 24/7, I don't have to build at Fort Knox like he did for the main paddock. But it will give me the opportunity
to get grass in the main paddock.
Yeah, to get grass grown in the main paddock again. So that's the reason why we're doing it. And the organic food guys, listen. One thing I've learned.
What do you say about the organic food?
Well, he said, "Are we doing on the paddock so they can be organic?"
No. Your organic is a joke.
the organic label on food, guys, and this is just something we've learned over the years. That's kind of a scam that the USDA uses to get people to pay more money. There's so many different classifications of organic. It's not even funny.
Right.
It's not
even
funny.
And the fees to be licensed organic are a joke.
And some of the organic food, honestly, and I learned this from my insurance guy, because he used to sell insurance to these people that were organic farmers and stuff, and he saw firsthand what it was all about. And he flat out said that some of the stuff that's labeled as organic has more pesticides on it than the stuff you buy in the grocery store. Yep. And it's just it's written so people can get around it and charge more money.
So it's kind of like, think of it this way. Well, I don't want to break anybody's heart in here, but it's kind of like this for vegetarian chicken eggs and vegan chickens and all of that crap. There's no such thing. Chickens eat mice, they eat snakes, they eat all kinds of stuff. And so bugs, the whole 9 yards, they get more protein than a lot of people. And so, man, no, there's no such thing. So don't be paying that $6 for a dozen just for it to say vegan or vegetarian eggs. Don't do it. It's not
Yeah.
true. They lied to you.
If you're buying from a commercial egg producer, chances are they're getting some sort of meat protein.
Well, and if you're doing
Well, I don't know.
if you're doing no, I think anyone, but also here's the thing: if you're doing commercial, so a friend of ours, like Mossy Oak Parrot, she went in and she had a very good comment, very good conference, and in that conference, she had made the comment, and she said, "You know what I learned?" She said, "Do you realize that in the last couple of years, eggs went from 9% protein down to 6 or 7% protein? Why is that?"
Like, I guess technically,
Why is
if you
that?
fed the chicken nothing but soy, then I guess you could call it a vegetarian chicken.
And then wouldn't the protein in the egg go down to
the
6 to
the protein is not the same type of protein as if they're out. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why we let our chickens out.
Right.
We don't keep them pinned up all the time.
Rinka's right. They're raptors.
Yeah.
You just see, especially the American Brassies. Those Brassies, they're like, it's crazy. I would not want to be a bug in their path. There it is. It's like dinosaurs running across the paddock.
You know what else chickens do? That he said that chickens eat chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens also drink their own poop water.
True.
So I used to be very diligent about and hyper about keeping everything spotlessly clean.
Okay.
And I learned really quick that it really doesn't matter. Yeah, and it's just like the chickens don't care if the corner in the coop is completely square.
Nope.
The chickens just do not care. I've got a roof, and I purposely made it this way so it would drain better, but I've got a roof that's lower on one end than it is on the other end, and it's more noticeable than I meant it to be, but it does drain really well. But the chickens don't care.
What was Tiger doing that she left?
I don't know. Ask her.
What were you doing, Tiger, that you left?
If Angela can be nosy.
I just want to be nosy. Well, I was laughing because Rink called her a guy, but he wouldn't know. So
let's see. Livestock eats the plants in the paddock, and get moved to the next paddock. Chickens come and paddock and dig through the poop crap and yep.
That's exactly how it works.
And that's why eventually.
And in between, we tried. The goal is to get hogs moving through there.
Well, no, the hogs tear up the ground and get it ready to seed. Then you seed it. You run the cows across it, or not the cow, the larger livestock, goats and sheep.
So
cows.
would it be the goats and sheep then at that point?
Yeah, and then the chickens go through and they scratch up all the poop and spread it around. Eventually, that's the goal. And once I get the paddock fenced in, I will revisit building a proper large chicken tractor that I can move around and move across the paddock behind the goats and sheep, because that's the way to.
I'd like to put the hogs in the woods. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I'd like to do it like Billy does.
Yeah,
if you guys ever watched Permapasture Farms, Billy's got pigs and he's rehabbing the side of the mountain that he lives on, and he's done it. He's done a great job of videoing it and letting people see how it works, And when I say the side of a mountain, he lives on the side of a mountain.
Tiger's getting ready to whoop ass. He wouldn't know, Tiger. I mean, it's not like Tiger puts out there like, I'm a girl.
Oh, and the final thing, we got some more late season squash planted, and in the process, I got cardboard down, and I've got hay that I'm going to use as weed barrier, but my stinking skid loader's not working. So this weekend, I'm going to have to take it and break apart the bale. It's a 1,200-pound bale. I'm going to have to break it apart by hand and move it by hand. I think I'm going to throw everything in the back of the pickup truck and drive the 100 feet around the building and then back up and dump the stuff in there. Right. But we'll get that. We'll get it done, and we'll get eventually get it done. That was the whole point of tilling up the 4,200 square feet of the garden this year, so we could prep it and get it ready for a bigger, more purposely built garden next year.
We got to get hogs on that to just tear the crap out of it. All right, you fixing and get into politics? I saw you grab your laptop.
I guess. Well, that's unless you got some more.
Not really. I think that's about everything without me getting into my personal life, and we don't need to do that. So why don't I let you just go ahead and take over?
Okay.
And I guess I'll spy on the chickens and see if I can get them put away. But what do you want me to do if she's not sitting on that nest? Pull the eggs?
Let's wait. Just don't do anything till I go out and look because I want to see what's
Okay,
going
then
on.
I'm just gonna leave them the way they
Yeah,
are.
just leave them the way they are. That's fine.
All right. Bye guys. Love you all. Be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today. See ya.
So arbitrary. Just 10% number. Oh goodness. Okay, guys. Had some stuff happen in the news that affect us here locally. Actually, it affects homesteaders across the country and landowners that I thought you'd like to know about. The first one, the Interior Department. This is from American Stewards of Liberty. I'm not going to throw the articles up this time. I'm just going to read them to you. But this week's issue, that one of the stories is the Department of the Interior curbs preferential treatment for wind energy. Now, this preferential treatment for alternative energy sources was part of the 30/30 land grab efforts that were going on. And the Interior Department on July 29th ended special treatment for unreliable energy sources such as wind. This is a huge win for landowners because they've got the corridor that they're building across the upper plains. Seriously, the windmills, you can drive 45 minutes north of us and you're right into the first belt of windmills that they're building all across from Kansas all the way across into Colorado and points north. So again, this is a huge win. And if you've ever, I have no problem with wind as an alternative power source on your homestead, small scale. Beth Emily says you make her laugh.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. She's just you funny looking, I guess. I don't know. She didn't say.
Damn, you were all over me today.
Well, she didn't say. She didn't say why you make. I was just guessing.
You're so hurtful sometimes.
But if you're doing it on your own homestead, that's great. In fact, I want to get a windmill up here at some point. But as far as the government stealing our money and doing it, yeah, I'm not into that. Skane says I drove through a huge windmill area coming back from Joplin that time. Yep, they've got them down there too. That's part of a different energy consortium down there that are doing that. The other one that I thought was interesting. Let me pull this up if I can. There we go. Trump EPA ends Obama era endangerment finding. The endangerment finding created in 2009 by Obama-Biden Environmental Protection Agency and placed on steroids by Biden-Harris administration allowed the federal government to regulate everything from gas-powered vehicles to placing restrictions on agriculture under the radical Green New Deal. These findings, all the advancements we've seen in automotive things like the automatic shut off and some of the other things that are meant to conserve fuel, those are all a result of this EF that they created. Those are going away. Those are going away, which in my opinion is a good thing. Okay. The last week, the Trump administration ended this malfeasance and overzealous federal agency. Thank God. You guys can get as mad as you want at Trump about the Epstein files or whatever. They can the conservatives or whatever you want to call them can get as mad as they want. They are doing some good things. They are unwinding some very, very onerous federal federal guidelines and federal rules, taking animals off the Endangered Species Act. The left has been going nuts about that, but it needed to be done. Hang on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That for some reason that light got bumped and it was shining right in my eyes. But so yeah, so they are doing some good work, you know. And then I'm not sure where this one is. What's this here? The land plan for the Muleshoe National refuge area gone. They're getting rid of it. They were trying to federalize 700,000 acres of private land to expand the refuge by 10,000%. That is done. And let's see, I've read about this. The Muleshoe land grab is in Texas. They were trying to do that down in Texas. So there's another win. I hope that you guys are seeing, at least you're not seeing that, you're at least appreciating some of the stuff that's going on. They're small victories, but they're victories nonetheless. The issues here we've got going on in the county. I put in that CORA, Kansas Open Records Act request with the county, and I was told in writing. They didn't just send me an email. I think I told you about the email last week, but they sent a letter in writing telling me that I was not privileged to what I was asking for, and because of client attorney privilege was the basis of it all. Which is, I find that kind of disturbing because theoretically they could use that to keep anything they wanted away from the public. They could do stuff behind closed doors and not ever have to tell us, as long as the lawyer was involved. You know, so that kind of bothers me. But we're making progress. You know, we're at least getting in there. Here, I wanted to share it. Actually, I'm glad Rink's in here. I am glad Rink's in here because this is from down under. I wanted to share this with you. So this is the personification of becoming ungovernable, guys. If you couldn't tell there at the end, he picks up a stick and he literally sword fights the kangaroo. Then the kangaroo trips over him. He jumps on top of him, and it's hard to see because the video is so small if you're watching on your phone. He's literally straddling this kangaroo, and he's talking to it. And I could just imagine what the conversation's like, you know. But that's the personification of becoming ungovernable. That kangaroo was trying to impose his will on that guy, and the guy said no. There were movies in the 70s about boxing kangaroos. Oh yeah, they've still got them. One of the funniest stories I ever heard about a kangaroo is we pulled into Perth, and for some reason, some of the guys wanted to go on a outback camping trip. So they took him out there. They drove him out, and they pitched tents out there. And one of my Marines, this guy was a farm kid from Iowa, and he was corn fed. This kid was your stereotypical corn fed Marine from Iowa. And to have him tell the story was hilarious. But he gets up in the middle of the night, steps outside to take a pee, and there's somebody standing there next to him, and he thinks it's one of his buddies, and he starts talking to him, and he doesn't say anything. This person doesn't say anything to him, and he looks around, and there's a whole bunch of people standing outside their tents, and he's like, what the heck is going on here? And he turned around and reached out to touch his buddy, and it took off. It was a kangaroo, and a herd of kangaroos had come into the camp in the middle of the night, and he said that they just took off in every direction, jumping over tents, just scared the hell out of them. Yeah, kangaroos look like deer that have been to prison. Oh yeah, some of those kangaroos look like they're pretty yoked up. Been taking steroids and pressing some iron. But yeah, but that's I saw that today, and I was like, that is becoming ungovernable, and that's what we're doing. That we're fighting a kangaroo. That's what we're doing here in Kansas. We're fighting that kangaroo, and we're not going to let it win. Oh goodness. What else we got? You guys got anything you guys want to talk about?
Can I just start calling the county commissioners Joey?
Joe, call them on. Well, I got other names I'd like to call them.
Make Joey a bad word.
Okay. So is there anybody, our Texas crew's no longer here. They haven't been here for a while. Is there anybody left that's from Texas here in the chat? I want to talk about the craziness that's going on down there, because I find this very, very interesting. So if you haven't been following the news, the Democrat legislature in Texas is up to their shenanigans again. Instead of staying there and doing the job that they were hired to do, they want to keep the Republicans from getting their way, so they left the state. And it caused Governor Abbott to issue arrest warrants for him, and they're trying to figure out how to go. Oh my gosh, Rink's a Cowboy fan. Ugh. They used to be America's team, not anymore. It's the Chiefs now. Anyway, so he issued arrest warrants for him, but there's no way they're going to do it because they took off to Illinois. And I find it funny because the reason that they left the state was because the Texas legislature was going to start redistricting. It's that time. If you're not familiar with American politics, about every 2 to 4 years, these states will redistrict to take into account changes in populations and stuff. And the redistricting that they're going to do this year is going to cause the Dems to lose about 5 seats and the Republicans to pick up about 5 seats. And they don't want that. They're saying that they're gerrymandering it, which is purposely making the boundaries of the district to give one party or another more people in it. But they're upset about this. So what they do, they ran to Illinois. Now, Illinois is probably one of the most gerrymandered states in the nation. Some of the districts there, and if you find a district map in Illinois, it's crazy looking. Seriously, Kansas City, the here in the heartland, just up the highway from us, they've got a district that the Democrats gerrymandered a long time ago, and they've never fixed this way, and it boggles my mind. But it's part of Jackson County is one of the counties that makes up most of Kansas City, Missouri. But there's a spit of land that heads east from Jackson County down 24 Highway that goes all the way out into rural Lafayette County, which is the next county over, and it's about 60 miles in length, this little spit of land. But they did it so that the main town in Lafayette County, the county seat of Lexington, would be in the district. Well, actually, all the large-sized towns along 24 Highway were in this same district, and it's the district that Emmanuel Cleaver represents, and so it's gerrymandered like hell, and it happens all across the country, and the Republicans do it just as much as the Democrats do, and so it's kind of childish. And if I had my way, legally Abbott can't do this, but I would boot him out of office. I would get them removed from office for not doing their job, for abandoning their position, and it's childish, and I'm not I'm not bagging directly on Democrats when I say it's childish, because Republican legislatures have done it as well, but yeah, Grateful Heart's right. It's not the first time that they've done this to prevent a quorum. And the Dem legislature up in Wisconsin several years ago went down to Illinois too. And it's funny that they complain about Republicans do it. The Democrat Party complains about Republicans doing it. California and New Mexico, was it New Mexico? California and some other state were like, well, we're gonna gerrymander too. You already every state has gerrymandered things, and what's bad about it is they're not supposed to do it. It's federal law; they're not supposed to do it, but they do it anyway, and they're allowed to. So I found that whole story down there is fascinating to me, and I hope it never comes to that here in Kansas, because I will go nuts. Let's see here, what else we got going on. Oh yeah, the fallout from NPR and PBS. They're still complaining about the defunding of those two, and quite frankly, I'm glad they were defunded. It's hilarious that the liberals use Sesame Street as part of the reason du jour not to defund PBS. HBO owns Sesame Street. Why are we paying taxpayer dollars to fund propaganda that's used against us? It's just like the USAID thing. The reason why USAID needed to be gone is because they were promoting stuff that was aimed directly against the wishes of 50%, at least 50% of the population. And now the big thing is they're talking, so many people could die from the fallout from this, and that's something else. That there's another thing that just is driving me nuts. If I hear any more pundits or any more Democrats or even Republicans, if I hear any more politicians say, well, it might do something, I'm gonna lose it. Seriously, I'm sick and tired of using possibilities and probabilities as a reason to curtail my rights. If they'll say it like that, but whenever you go, well, look, the data's coming back that the vaccines are causing, well, I use vaccines in air quotes because they're not really vaccines, but there is proof that there are related medical problems. It's happening. And they refuse that, but they say, well, it might cause problems. Something taking away, making it so that able-bodied people have to work might cause problems. Well, you know what? I don't want to pay taxes for might. I want to pay taxes for will. If actually, I take that back. I don't want to pay taxes at all. But if they're going to take my taxes, I don't want theoretical. If it's going to be taken, I want it used for something that actually works. And they say the defunding of USAID and NPR and PBS is a political thing. Well, that just proves the point that NPR and PBS and USAID were all political. Everything that they did was political, because if it weren't, it wouldn't be an issue, right? I don't know. I'm not even sure Big Bird's a citizen of the United States, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure. And it's really bad. It's bad because I remember as a kid, I grew up on Sesame Street. If you're a Gen Xer, you Sesame Street was part of your life, and then Electric Company was part of your life, and then as we got older, Schoolhouse Rock was part of your life, and these were really good things when we were kids, but they have completely corrupted them. Everything that liberalism touches becomes corrupted. They got infected with the woke mind virus, and it just got worse. Let's see what other things. What else has just set me off? Dun, 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 dun. They finally caught that guy that killed those 4 people up in Montana. They caught him today, and if you look at a picture of him, he's got crazy eyes. Does not surprise me. DOJ identifies 35 sanctuary jurisdictions in immigration crackdown. You know, there's something else. You know, if a jurisdiction does not want to follow federal law, and this knife cuts both ways, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But if a jurisdiction does not want to follow federal law, the federal government has the right to pull money from them, right? To withhold funding until they comply. Now, as a patriot, I have zero problems with that. Zero problems, because the stuff that I don't want to comply with, I don't feel we should be taking money for anyway, right? And I want the federal government out of state politics and out of county politics. You know, part of the problem that we have in America is the federal government, its tentacles have reached all the way down to the local level. One of the reasons why school district administrations have ballooned in the amount of people and the amount of money it takes to administer a school district is directly in response to Department of Education requirements for documentation and funding requests and stuff. So, you know, they need to get out. They need to get out, and they need to stay out. And the only way we do that is by becoming involved. That was one of the things. If you haven't seen it yet, go out to the community page and look at what I posted there this morning. And I've got another community post coming out tomorrow that some people might enjoy. I'll just put it that way. So this is a new theme that's going on with me. I think it's time that we start putting words into actions more, and we start being more deliberate. And so I'm going to start posting. I'm going to try to start posting more material to get people thinking in that direction, and hopefully encouraging people to finally stepping up the game, because it's time. It's time to step up the game. Rick says he made so much money he's upset they banned men from women's sports. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, final thoughts here tonight, guys. Final thoughts. We're an hour and almost hour and 20 minutes into this, and I got to go. It got dark really quick, so I need to get out and check the chickens. Okay, this one's gonna sound really weird, but I want your guys' opinion on this. I want you guys to let me know in the live chat what you think of this idea, and tell me if you guys want to do it. And even if only 5 or 6 people want to do it, I'll do it, because I think it's going to be fun. So I had a dream last night, and it's one of those dreams that I remembered vividly when I woke up. And it was I got into REM sleep really early this morning. I woke up in the middle of the night for something, and then I went back to bed, and I immediately went into REM sleep. And I had this dream, and I remembered it. Out of curiosity, I was sitting at work waiting for some software to load on somebody's PC. So I started doing a little amateur dream interpretation. I went online and started looking stuff up and finding out what this dream meant. And what I got back, I was using ChatGPT to actually take that back. I was using Grok to do it. But what I got back was very interesting. And it's going to sound like it was an echo chamber for me, but it really wasn't, because it was pretty intuitive. I did not give it any of this information. It was able to drive the information itself from what I gave it. And all I did was give it a synopsis of the dream itself. And then some other prompts that I asked expanded on it. It was very interesting. would you guys like to do a live stream with me where I talk about the dream and I share the interpretation of the dream with you? Because it has real world implications. Seriously. Dreams are nothing more than your subconscious trying to tell you something. And this one, pretty spot on. I was really impressed with the amateur dream interpretation there. So Rank says, why not? If I get 2 or 3 other people, I'll maybe schedule something late Thursday or Saturday, and we can do it then. I think it'll be fun, and if everybody finds this interesting, then we can kind of do this on a semi-regular basis. I mean, I got no trouble sharing my deep psychology or psychological problems with everybody. I got no problem, and maybe even volunteer some people to come up on a panel and delve into that their interpretations for them. It's a very interesting subject. All right, listen, I got at least 3 people that said yes. So I'll figure out how to put this together and see what time works. When I say late Friday, maybe late Thursday, maybe 9:00 Thursday night. I've got the next installment of the City Survival 101 series tomorrow. We're going to be talking about medical, and Homestead Twins is not here tonight. So if you bump into them online in the next 24 hours, let them know that it's there. Let them know we're going to talk about medical so that they know it's not forgotten this time. Hope to see everybody there. That's going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, the only time zone that matters. Hope to see as many people there as possible. Like I said, the doing these videos has prompted me to start writing this book, and it gives me lots of fodder and lots of things to talk about. And believe it or not, I've been able to crank out 1 chapter a week to a relatively developed rough draft. I mean, there's still some work that needs to be done, but I've been able to crank out 1 a week, and it's because I'm doing these videos, and I'm able to take the script for the videos and turn them into a chapter for the book. So I hope to see everybody there. Again, if you made it this far, hang on. Beth Emily says, I don't care for AI, for the AI aspect, but dreams are fun to analyze. Well, you know what, Beth Emily? Yes, there are some problems with AI. It's a tool. All right. The AI that we have today is not really AI. It's just a very advanced algorithm. All right. And it's like every other piece of software. It's garbage in, garbage out. And this is why I'm a firm believer that as patriots and conservatives, we should be using AI. We should be interacting with these AI platforms so that they're not solely configured by the leftists. All right. And I would never say that the dream interpretation I got was psychoanalyzing me in any professional manner. It was just some goofy amateurish thing that I did. It was fun, but I'm not going to take the results with anything other than a grain of salt. If anything, it just confirmed some stuff I already knew. All right. Maybe you can call that echo chamber if you want, but it's stuff I've been thinking about for quite a while. But you are right. There are some things in AI that's sketchy. If you're ever doing anything with numbers or legal stuff, do not use it as your sole source of information. It's just like using Wikipedia as source information for a political debate, right? It's just not a smart thing to do. Well, Lynn, I was gonna ask you if you would take time, since you've been through the process to look at the book and help me tweak it. But I wasn't gonna do that until I had a full book to do that. So we'll talk about that later, probably in 4 or 5 weeks. But all right, guys, listen, if you made it this far and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we do stupid stuff like dream interpretation or prepper videos and homesteading videos. Listen, guys, really appreciate you coming here. If you wanna help yourselves and become more prepared, go to the affiliate links down below. We've got the Amazon store, we've got the Grumpy Acre store. Call us or contact us via email for availability. I knocked the thing over there. I got to clean it up. But call us for availability. And then we've got our affiliate links. Go ahead and use those. They're things that we use and we support them. And most of all, guys, when you put your head on your pillow tonight, you ought to be able to tell yourself, I am better off right now than I was when I woke up. And if you're not, you need to go out tomorrow and try to do that, okay? Go out tomorrow and live a life done free. Take care, guys.